Hey, what's up YouTube, and welcome back to Morgellons discussion and my chronoscopy videos. I'm your host Jeremy Murphy, and today just chilling out downtown. Show you guys what we got going on around here. This is South Carolina, and this is what we do. Just chilling out in downtown. But anyways, yeah, I appreciate everybody giving me the feedback today. I know it's hard to stand up, uh, against the foundation, but I mean, what are they doing? What are they thinking? You know, it's just such a serious gaffe. We got Reuters trying to really help us out, and they can't even get on there and say we made a mistake. That's a sign that there's some kind of problems going on. So, I mean, if you want to see a change, you got to speak out against it. And I know that's hard to do because they provided so much good work over the years, but they're just not only shooting it in the foot for themselves, but also us as patients as well. And you got to kind of wonder, why doesn't leadership want to step up to the plate and do anything about this? They're just going to let it sit. And people have come up to me on my YouTube channel, and they've said, and on Twitter also, talking about how the Reuters article was bad for Morgellons patients, and it's like they didn't even read it. They just saw the tweet on the Charles Holman Foundation's page. It's bad news. They've got to be able to step up to the plate and address the issue and be able to say that, yeah, they were wrong and it was just a mistake. But if you can't say that you made a mistake, then people aren't going to trust you going forward. Another thing I wanted to talk about today was the two new studies that came out. There's no reason not to share those. I mean, those are peer-reviewed articles. Not only that, they're not open access. You got to pay to see the full study. So, yeah, I mean, those are high caliber. Those are high caliber studies. If anybody's telling you not to share them, there's no reason not to share them out. Really not. That's what I want to talk about was just the high control environment. That's what we notice so often in these online groups is that people are told to behave a certain way. They're told which resources they can share, which ones they can't. I don't tell people they can't share the resources. I let them know how it has either something to do or nothing to do with the topic of Morgellons, the skin condition. And most often it's something completely unrelated, even though it may have some kind of scientific merit. So being able to distinguish, I know I talked with Meg Morris recently in Intuit Public Radio. That's the interview I'm hoping to be able to syndicate on the show here. And I'm not sure if she's going to put it on her YouTube or I'm going to be able to put it on mine or a combination of both. I think would be great. I'm going to leave a link in the description to her YouTube channel and also to her website. But it was a great interview we had a couple days ago. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the replay. I think I talked over her one time, and I'm sorry about that. I try not to do that ever, but yeah, we do that every once in a while. I think I talked over it just a little bit. I mean, but otherwise, it was a great interview. She was asking some compelling questions, and one of the things that she let me in on that I understood a little bit better now is that patients really don't understand the research. And so the analogy that I came up with was, like 30 years ago, people knew how to take apart engines, you know, and how to take them apart, put them back together because they just spent a little bit of time, looking at it every day. It didn't happen all at once. The first time they looked at it, they probably just kind of got an idea of what it looks like, but they didn't know how to put it together. It took going back and tinkering with it a little bit, over days and then weeks and then months. Then eventually, after years, they're competent about it. They can take it apart, put it back together like it was second nature. And then, 30 years after that, people started doing the same thing with computers. Computers are a lot easier to work on than engines, though, car engines, that's for sure. But, the same thing is true with the research. All you got to do is just go into it, give it a once over, and then that's it for the day. Just at least familiarize yourself with the title and the concept, the abstract, what it's supposed to be about, and then you can go into it and drill into it a little bit deeper. Now, it does help if you have a buddy, somebody you're working with, who can take a look at that information with you and give you their thoughts, their opinions, but also that personal experience. When you're looking at something with somebody else, you guys can communicate about the evidence that you're looking at. And that reinforces what you're learning because you have that personal experience. You can think back, oh yeah, I was sitting there talking with Amy about this aspect of the research, talking about how the blue fibers are the human melanin and how many fibers are there, and she thought that that maybe had something to do with the hyperpigmentation. You're thinking back, but it's not just the facts, it's also the people that you were talking to while you were discussing those facts. So I think finding a research buddy is definitely probably a good idea in terms of being able to not only absorb but also comprehend and retain the knowledge that's in those resources. Coming up, we're definitely going to be. The hell? We're going to be shutting down the survey at the end of December, so you still have a little bit of time to get in there. It's not even October yet, so yeah, we got a few more months to go. 2021's been buzzing right along. It looks like things are finally starting to pick up a little bit. I'm gonna have to jump back in online and see if there's any kind of web development opportunities. Voiceover stuff, you got to get in there and you have to feel like auditioning. I mean, you have to really, sell it. You have to sell the script that they're doing, but then you have to get in there and do the editing, which I can do that. But it's just again a matter of being able to build yourself up to be able to feel like doing that. I'm doing it consistently. I just started going back down to the park again and working out on the equipment they got down there, the kinetic resistance workout machines, and I'm just taking it real slow. I'm just doing it a little bit at a time when I go back down there. But man, it feels so good to be able to go down there. I'm definitely getting strength, and to be honest with you, after the first time going back down there, my arm was hurting less. Yeah, I was really digging that. Being able to go down there, my arm wasn't hurting as bad after I worked out. So it's all about that strength training, but definitely not taking so long a break that you start to become or experience atrophy, muscular atrophy. You gotta use it or you're gonna lose it. Look at these dogs. Hey man, can I take a picture of your dogs on the YouTube? On the YouTube, can I do that? No? Oh, cool, man, thanks. Hey, look at those dogs, that's adorable. Say hey to YouTube. Hey, that's cute, man, thanks. Alright guys, I hope you're having a good weekend and gearing up for next week. We'll definitely be talking at you soon, and take care, and oh yeah, please hit that like, hit that subscribe, share this video out with your friends. I need those likes, those subscribes, and not just me, but to get the message out there. If you agree with what I'm saying, you feel like Charles Holman ought to come out and the foundation ought to come out and say we made a mistake on the Twitter and we're actually very happy that Reuters is sharing scientific information, then let them know that I'm not the only one, because really at the end of the day, that's the kind of decision that's going to impact all patients for a long time. All right, take care, and we'll talk to you soon.